Francis King was established in 1973. We've got two schools. One is in London and another school also in Dublin. The London school is the oldest school. Dublin was just founded a couple of years ago, just 4 years ago. So London obviously is very popular, particularly with the Russian students. And actually slowly the school in Dublin is increasing in popularity with Russian students. What we are particularly famous for is our family programme. So that's quite unique to many of the schools in London. We were one of the first schools who started the family programme about 10 years ago. And the minimum age for the children is 6 up to 16. So it's a real family holiday when parents, if they want to, can study, or if they don't want to, it's not necessary. But what obviously is important is that the parent is here in London to live with the child and bring them to the school each day.
Is it here in this campus?
Well, actually we have a separate building in Belgravia, so just 2 or 3 minutes from Victoria Station. And we offer the family programme at 4 different types of the year, so not just the summer, which is obviously the most popular, but we also offer in spring and autumn and also winter, which for the Russian market is very important too.
Not as cold as it is in Russia.
Absolutely not. So trying to escape the cold in Moscow or St. Petersburg or wherever.
Anywhere is very cold.
And we also offer the family programme in Dublin as well, but not not at all times of the year. So obviously family programme very important for Russia, but also we offer general English.
Is it here? General English is based here.
Is
What
here.
sort of programs in general English are you offering?
Well,
here?
most students come for the morning programme, which is just for 20 lessons, but we also offer the programme in the afternoon. General English, so focusing on speaking, particular focus on speaking, but we also cover the other language skills, so writing, listening and also reading. Most students are between 19 to 25, so typical university age students. We also have some other courses, professional English, for minimum age 24, but most students are in their late 30s and 40s. And the course focuses a little bit more on the type of English that they would need for the working environment. So the difference between the two courses is that one is for people who are already working in an English-speaking company. They need practice for telephone English, business meetings, presentations, whereas the other students, at some point in their future they're going to use English, but for the moment they're just, they maybe need English more for their social life, for travel. So it's all for the future that they're English.
What do you think is the most difficult for foreign students while they're studying English? Is it listening, just to understand, interpret? Is it grammar? Is it reading? What is the most?
I mean, it very much depends on the nationality. Because some nationalities, particularly Asian students, for example, have a lot of focus on written English and grammar at their own school or university, whereas more European students tend to be better at speaking. But I mean, Russian students I think generally have a good sort of overall level of English. I mean, most students who come to the school obviously have already studied English at school, so most students come at a sort of intermediate level, and so they have a good knowledge of English. They're just trying to improve their skills, and for most students it's spoken English which is the most important. And here at Francis King, our main focus as a school is on improving students' spoken English.
Oh, that's very good, spoken English. Because it seems like we tend to speak quite well, being from Russia, but we don't really understand as good when people English
yes,
speakers.
yes,
You know, it's just the interpretation.
Yeah.
Have you spotted it with your students from Russia?
Well, you know, it can be a problem with students that actually, because they've learned at school in a usually with a non-English teacher.
Absolutely.
Actually, when it comes to, you know, the real world or in England, they struggle to you know, understand people's accents.
Correct.
So that's something, you know, as a school we try to help students with in pronunciation basically, and with listening skills. Okay. So one other program which is really important is IELTS. So I have a lot of students who are interested in taking the IELTS exam for the future, that they might want to study in an English-speaking university, not necessarily in England, but in another country. So we have always run at least one class for IELTS. To take IELTS, you need to be like a B1 level, which is a sort of lower. The upper intermediate level. So if we have a lot of students who want to do IELTS, then we split the students into a sort of lower class and also a higher level. Many students, that you know, they need for their university an IELTS 5.5, but then some students, you know, if they're doing masters, they need much higher than that, so 6.5.
How long does it take, this IELTS course?
Well, at Francis King we have a 4-week IELTS course, or some students do two 4-week courses back to back, and either is possible, either 4-week short course or a longer 8-week course. And we have start dates every month, basically.
I know IELTS can be quite complicated. What are the results? Do they pass the test from the first attempt? Or
well, to be honest, with IELTS, you don't fail. You just get a score.
But a good score. Do they get a good score, the needed score?
Well, obviously it depends on the student, how hard they work, but the teachers here at Francis King are very experienced IELTS teachers. And you know that some of them are even IELTS examiners, so they know exactly you know what they have to focus on. They do a lot of you know, a lot of attention is on exam techniques. So students feel quite comfortable when it comes to doing the exam, because they've already had a lot of practice in their class. And the teachers, some of them have been teaching IELTS for, you know, sort of 10, 12 years. So that's really important.
Just want to tell us also about the community. I understand that you have a lot of international students. Do you feel like they can become close friends? Do you think like it's a good place to meet new people, to kind of get more into the British culture, British environment, go out after school, after classes? Is it something common, you think?
Well, I mean, you know, when a student comes to England, they're not just coming here to practice their English.
Yeah, I would think
so. They're young people. Of course, they want to meet people, make friends. Some students who, you know, make friends at the school, they're friends for life, and they keep in contact with them, visit them in their own country. So, you know, the social life, the activity program, that's a very, very important part of the students' stay here. You know, in addition to, you know, if they stay with a homestay, again, they can become friends with the homestay and keep in contact with them for 10, 15 years. We have some families who, you know, come back every year with their children. They start when they're here, when they're 7 or 8, and they're still coming, you know, even when they're in their sort of young teens. So they just change the program. They start on the family program, and then they move to the teenager program, and then some students even come back as sort of, you know, young adults doing a general program. So, you know, it's lifelong learning in a way.
And what countries your students are coming from?
Well, it's
top
very,
maybe like
very mixed.
like top 5, 10 countries.
I mean, here in London, there can be up to 30 nationalities at any one time. So a student sitting in a class could have 10 different nationalities in their class. probably the most popular nationality, depends on the time of year, is Italian, Brazilians, and then Japanese.
Okay.
Also, Russians in the summer on the family program. That's very, very popular for Russian students. Yeah.
Do you think, just from my observations, if there are 2 or more Russian students in the same class, they tend to speak Russian to each other, and it almost influences their results because they don't practice English as much?
Well,
what do you think about it? Or
as
we
a
try
school,
to separate
we
them?
obviously would need to, as a school, we expect students in the school to speak English.
Yeah.
But in the breaks, it's difficult to
stop them.
To stop them. But students make friends with all different nationalities, and the only common language that most of them have is English. So they're really encouraged and have to basically speak English to communicate, and definitely outside. If they're visiting museums or going to the theatre. People on the street and the tube, the underground, then, it's all going to be English.
Well, we've seen your activity board, and it looks actually very exciting.
Yes,
So how often do students go actually, and what are the places they're normally visiting together? Are they excited to visit them?
Yeah.
Or?
Well, we have a full activity programme, so there are activities on 6 days a week. And activities can range from walks, to education workshops. We have a pronunciation workshop, listening skills. There's a job club. So students who are interested in looking for work and improving their CV can come along to the job club. And then we also have other things like art galleries, museums. Every Wednesday we have a restaurant trip. So we have Japanese restaurant, English restaurant, so fish and chips. Sometimes there's something like Korean, Italian. I mean, we try to have a good mixture of different sort of restaurants where students can try different types of food, basically.
Yeah, looks like really good time for them.
And then also, we have trips at the weekend. We take students down to Brighton on the train. We may go to Greenwich. There's a boat trip. So students are introduced to lots of different activities in London. For some students, it's the first time they've ever visited London. And the activity programme is a fantastic way for them to meet other students.
Absolutely.
And it's a great introduction to the school, to our staff, and also an opportunity to meet other people. So some students will do every activity on the activity programme. Some students just do 2 or 3, and some students, because they've been here many times before, don't do anything. But the activity programme is there. Many activities are free.
Even free?
Yes, a lot of them are free. All the workshops are free. Obviously museums, art galleries, the walks are free, so probably about 60% on the actual programme is
fantastic.
free. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Also, another thing I wanted to ask you about Roehampton. I heard you have summer camp or something.
We do.
Will you tell a little bit more about this, please?
So we have a summer teenager programme. So age 12 up to 17. And students can obviously come to London without their parents. We accept either individual students or small groups. And basically minimum length of stay is 1 week up to 6 weeks. Okay?
Fantastic.
So it's a programme of activities, English lessons in the morning, and then students live on campus.
That's good.
In Roehampton they have a single room with a private bathroom, and then of course all meals are provided, breakfast, lunch and dinner. We meet students at the airport and then we bring them to the campus. And students, they have a fantastic time. They meet other students, and of course all the time they're practicing their English. And many parents notice the difference in their children, the before and the after, and the confidence and the improvement and the fluency of the children is noticeable.
And it's good that from young age they socialize with their peers in a foreign language. I think it's just an amazing plan you have. How long have you been running this for?
Well, the Roehampton is just our second year at Roehampton, but we've been offering teenager programs for about 10 years now. So we're quite experienced in that sort of area.
And if, for example, a teenager doesn't quite speak English, would you recommend this campus, this experience for, a lot of Russian younger generation? They're not quite strong in English. Would they be able to blend in with other students?
Absolutely. I mean, most students, when they're younger, their level of English is a little bit lower. So we accept all levels of English from beginner up to sort of an advanced level. Most students are probably about a sort of lower intermediate level. But students will definitely be able to fit in, and sometimes it's better to be sort of thrown in at the deep end. It's sort of sink or swim basically. But all levels of students, can benefit enormously from a summer program for 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, it's a fully immersive program. So they speak English, not 24 hours a day, but all the time that they're sort of not sleeping basically. They're learning all the time, and it's not just English, but they're learning other skills. Because at Roehampton we also offer 3 different add-on programs, which are fashion and style, and also there's a sports fan, and then there's also just a general Discover London. So the students choose which of the programs they want to do.
And which one is the most popular then?
Well, fashion and style is very important.
I should imagine.
Very popular with the female students, but also sports fan as well. So it just depends really on what the student, what they want. Some students may do the option for their full 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Some students just do one for 1 week and then they change. So they get experience of all of the different programs.
Interesting. Thank you so very much. It was very insightful. Что ж, с вами была Paula Baylis, and see you soon.
Yes, see you soon. Look forward to meeting you in London.